Hey everyone, Mr. Skoczynski here, principal of Marshall Street Elementary. I hope you're enjoying your summer. What I'd like to do is I'd like to read Chapter 7, Wrigley Science to you right now. Boys and girls, Miss Garcia says after lunch, it's time to talk about our new science project. Finally, I am very excited. At the front of the classroom are shallow plastic containers, a pile of shredded newspaper, a bag of sand, and a big red mystery bucket. There's also a bunch of what can only be described as garbage. There is a box of orange peels and eggshells and what looks like carrots and maybe some coffee grounds. There are also lots of extra chairs in our classroom. The first part of the surprise is that we will be partnering with the kindergartners for this project, Miss Garcia says. They will be your little buddies, and I expect that all of you second graders will show them what it means to listen, follow directions, raise your hand when you want to speak, and most importantly, respect others. Can you do this? Yes, we say together. And just then, there's a knock at the door. Miss Garcia opens the door, and a parade of kindergartners walks in. I see my brother right away. He looks a little nervous, and immediately comes over to sit by me. I try not to laugh at his slicked back hair. Which one is Mira? I whisper to him. He points to the girl sitting next to Alyssa. Mira has bright red hair and is even smaller than Ben. She's holding Alyssa's hand and looks scared. I smile. How's the paint sharing going, Ben? I ask. Pretty good, he says with a mouth guard free smile. Attention please, Miss Garcia says in a voice that gets everyone's attention. Today we are going to learn how to turn garbage into soil for our school garden using nature's best recyclers. Then Miss Garcia reaches into the red bucket and pulls out a handful of squirmy, gooey red worms. These are called red wigglers, and they are going to help us compost. Miss Garcia says, and all of a sudden I hear a big gulp. I look at Ben. He seems a little pale. Uh-oh. All we need, Miss Garcia goes on, is shredded newspaper, sand, a little water, the fruit and vegetable leftovers from your lunch boxes, and our worm friends. And we have something called vermicomposting. Can you say vermicomposting? Vermicomposting, the class repeats. How does it work, Juan asks. Well, the worms eat the garbage and their poop turns into nutritious fertilizer that we'll use in our class garden, Miss Garcia says. Ben grabs my hand and I get worried. Worm poop, he whispers. I can tell he's trying not to look up at Miss Garcia's red wigglers. Are you okay? I ask. He shakes his head. He is definitely not okay. I'm trying to decide what to do as Miss Garcia goes on with her explanation. We leave this pan under the plastic container which has holes in it to capture the liquid that drips through the compost. We call this liquid worm tea, and it's a great plant food. It also scares away other insects. Worm tea, Ben says, and that's it. He starts gagging. I raise my hand, but I'm already pulling Ben out of the classroom and out the door so he can have some fresh air. He's going to be sick, I tell Miss Garcia. We make it outside, but I know it's too late. I'm just lucky we make it to the garbage can. Poor Ben. I try to be like Mom and pat his back. Miss Garcia walks toward us, and it looks like half the class is staring out the window. Great. He has a weak stomach, I tell her. He'll be okay. Still, why don't you take him to the nurse to be sure, says Miss Garcia, and she heads back to the classroom. I take him to the drinking fountain to rinse his mouth first, and suddenly there's a little red-haired girl beside us. It's Mira. Ben, are you okay? Mira asks. Ben is red with embarrassment, but then Mira takes his hand. He smiles, and I think he forgets he just threw up in front of 40 kids. Miss Garcia says, I can walk with Ben to the nurse's office, Mira tells me. Thanks, Mira. I smile, and the three of us go see Nurse Mary. I'm pretty sure Ben will be fine now that he's not in sight of worms. Nurse Mary decides that Ben won't go back to the classroom until science class is over. She takes him to the library, and Mira and I walk back to the classroom together. I take Mira over to Alyssa and say, "You know, Alyssa, you have an awesome sister." "I know," Alyssa says, and she actually smiles at me, maybe for the first time ever. I decide that any girl with a little sister as cool as Mira can't be all bad, so I smile back. "Want to help us bury worms in the garbage?" Alyssa asks. And I say, okay. But when I start talking to the red wigglers, Alyssa rolls her eyes and snorts. I'm in such a good mood, it doesn't bother me one bit. Boys and girls, that ends chapter 7. Look forward to what happens in chapter 8.